Welcome back, Nicholas. Just Comic Corner Classic / Non-Classic. This episode number 1245. And Doubleshot number 1139. I got two Marvel trades. First up, it is Deadpool. Yeah, this is from Daniel Waisman. I think this is like the second trade I've reviewed from his run. Yeah, this book collects issues of the second volume of Deadpool, issues 23 to 26. Yes, anyway, is the writer of this book, with Carla Barrett, who does the artwork in here. Now, simply put, this one, Deadpool goes to Vegas. Oh, in case you're curious, though, on the cover you see that the Bucky Barnes Captain America's here, along with Thor and Iron Man. If you're curious, though, do they do anything in the storyline? The answer is no. They're just there for the cover, just to promote oh yeah, Deadpool's here. Yep, that's the simple gist of it. And the only reason why I think they did it because at the time these issues came out, the Heroic Age was going on. Yep, that was the simple reason for that. Because of the Heroic Age. Okay, fine. Now, mostly put just Deadpool hanging out in Vegas, battling a bunch of robots, which is kind of odd for him to do. And he teams up with the Grizzly for the storyline. Yes, the Grizzly. Also, Blind Owl is here. Yes, Blind Owl, who, yes, is a woman. She is a supporting character from the previous volume for the series, who did occasionally appear in that. She appeared in this volume. She appeared here. And that's it. Just basically just him just doing his regular thing, and that's that. Not really much else to say about this book. It's good. It's just that not much to tell here. Because it's only about just a couple years into the actual run itself. Though oddly enough, this volume would actually last for because it was relaunched in 2022. Oh, I give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. It's a good book, but not much to home about with this one. Though here's something quite strange though. This book would actually end like 36 issues later. Believe it or not. Yeah, this one lasted for 62 issues. Yeah, it basically decided to increase the number of issues by the time it got restarted back in 2012 of all things. Yeah, when Gary dug up the book. Now, in the case of Daniel Way, he was the first writer of Deadpool comic book to actually, let's just say, write an entire volume, unlike the first volume, which went through multiple different writers. I think it was about 4 or 5 in just 16 issues. This one was almost close to the same length as that one, but this one was actually about 7 issues shorter. Next one's really cool. We have Thanos, the Infinity Relativity. Written and drawn by Jim Starlin. Yeah, this is one of Thanos' many Thanos one-shots. And if you're curious though, when the heck this book came out, oh yeah, I got this book for about $6 from Ollie's. This one was about $3 for this book. Yeah, $3 for that. I don't think this book is that old. It only came out in 2015, only about 5 years old. Okay. Mostly put just the Guardians, who are here, along with, as in the cover, Annihilus and Adam Warlock. And because Jim Starlin book, aside from Thanos, what's one character that he created who loves showing up in almost every book Jim Starlin writes? Pip the Troll is here. Yep, Pip the Troll. Just cause, here for comic relief. We also have cameos by the Silver Surfer. He pops up in here, along with Galactus. I think it was also Iron Man, Reed Richards. Good amount of characters. It's a good standalone story that leads into the Infinity finale, which I think is, if I remember, I think this was the end of the Thanos traits. These Thanos one-shot this Pacific. I think they released like a couple more since then. But these are always pure fun to read. Yeah, the Pacific Jim Starlin does do the artwork in here. Yeah, he does the writing and artwork, which, yeah, that's simple for him to do. Oh, and here's something he loves doing. Close-ups of Thanos' face. Yeah, he loves doing this. I mean, it's one thing he just loves doing when it comes to Thanos because he just loves his character so much. Yeah, this is just a new trilogy of books. Single to the Infinity Revolution, which I had previously reviewed. Yep, I like in the case of that one with a series of random events. It just half-featured Deadpool. But this basically has some funny bits like, oh, Pet the Troll Car and Rocket Raccoon a raccoon, which is a common recurring gag when it comes to Rocket Raccoon. Despite the fact people call him Raccoon, he for himself not a raccoon, despite the fact he is one. But it's interesting though the fact that, well, Jim's not get a chance to write Drax and Gamora in here because he created the characters, and of course he basically writes in here that, like, oh yeah, this current destroyer isn't like the old one. Yeah, he pokes fun at the fact that, I don't know, maybe it's just him basically not liking the fact that Dynamic Annie Lenny basically changed the look of Drax, where from the big bulky look he's had since the 70s, and basically got slimmed down to what you see here. Yeah, in case you're curious though, this is actually the version of the Guardians that appeared in the Brian Michael Bendis run, believe it or not, which was coming out at this point. Yeah, though this has actually come out about 2 years into the era. But this overall is a fun book to read, and I give the book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Just an absolute great book, and if you're a fan of Jim Starlin and Thanos, I do recommend it. It's a damn good book. I know this one's kind of short, but there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to these two. I like the last several episodes for this review series, like quite lengthy. I had one recently, it was like 40 minutes, because it was a lot to talk about. These two, not a lot, but I just want to review them anyways. And in case you're curious, I'm going to review the other Thanos one-shots. Yes, I am. But all depends on when I get my hands on them. As to anyway, his run for Deadpool was not terrible per se, just that this arc is just nothing right home about, aside from the fact it's got good artwork with it. Oh yeah, speaking of the artwork, let me show off the interior artwork of this thing. Now the interior artwork, I forgot to mention this, I think it's done by it's done by a few different artists in here. Well, there's actually also a backup story here called Wade Until Dark, which by Dwayne Sorzinski, who was writing for Marvel at this point. The only comic he was writing, aside from this one backup story, was Cable, which I believe he actually ended his run that particular year. With Philip Bond in the artwork. The main book itself, it's Carlo Barretti who does the artwork, which it's actually pretty good artwork. Here's Deadpool in costume. Yeah, here's a close-up of his face. It's not a bad look for him. It almost seems as though Carlos Barretti basically was trying to emulate the style, at least a very similar look. Basically, look at Deadpool's mask. It's a similar style to Rob Liefeld, the way he draws Deadpool. Yes, I do know about Deadpool Bad Blood one-shot. That one I will eventually my hands on, because that's going to be interesting to talk about when it comes to that one. And here's something interesting with Rob Liefeld. He's at IDW right now, and he's doing Snake Eyes. That's not a joke. He's writing and drawing a Snake Eyes book. I'm like, really? Snake Eyes? Okay, that's interesting. You're probably thinking, wow, that's interesting. A Snake Eyes book at IDW? Because, well, you're probably thinking, wait, is this the first time that IDW has published a Snake Eyes book? No, this is actually the second time, because he did have one published prior to this one during the Chuck Dixon era of the G.I. Joe books. Really good book, by the way, and then they changed his name to Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow when many times keep flopping back and forth between the Cobra and G.I. Joe. But yeah, that's basically what Rob Liefeld is doing now, the creator of Deadpool. As Fabian DeCisa, who also co-created Deadpool, the most recent book he worked on was Nightwing, in the really crappy era of Nightwing. Which, I don't blame him for that, I blame DC Editorial for doing that. Starlin, on the other hand, I don't think has done very much recently. I mean, I can't think of a book he's done lately. Because the guy in the last few years have fallen on Marvel over money. And the fact that the way the article I read about, he was very openly disrespected at Marvel. Now, was he disrespected by the comic creators? Nothing to say he was disrespected by them. No, I think they had a lot of respect for the guy. I think he got disrespected by Axel Alonso and some higher-ups at Marvel over the fact that, you might find this interesting though, apparently he got paid more from Warner Brothers for the use of KG Beast in Batman Superman than over basically royalties. He got paid more for that than basically while we're using Thanos, Gamora, and Drax. You're probably thinking, wait, he got more for KGB than he did frickin' Thanos, the biggest villain in the MCU? I'm like, yeah, that's a big low blow when it comes to one of your creators. Yeah, and I pointed out though in my like top 10 things Axons did wrong that basically were really bad in this era. Disrespecting Jim Starlin was probably one of his worst things he did, aside from openly lying to the public a lot about what his plans were and his really dumb ideas. Like, for example, I'm not sure if this was his idea or if this was basically someone of his marketing team. Restarting the books #1. Because if you look at, let's say, Joe Quesada, very rarely saw that under his era, but actually, oh yeah, we just love restarting the books #1. We occasionally see it nowadays on CB Sebesky, but it's not prominent under this one, on this writer. But actually, oh yeah, we have to hit that restart button and make that money. Yep. But I've already talked about Axelons in the video. I'm not going to discuss more about him here. But Jim Starlin is one damn good writer and artist, and he should be respected a lot more by Marvel Comics. Even though Marvel Comics he's not the only writer disrespected over the years. Oh no, he's not the only one. There's actually a very big thing that there's one really big creator that Marvel heavily disrespected. Like, I would say it's a worse disrespect than Jim Starlin, and that was Jack Kirby, where they sold his artwork and they didn't send any money toward Jack Kirby's widow. Yes, they did that. Also, they did nothing for the celebration of his 100th birthday. Well, I guess the only thing they did for him was basically turn his most popular character into a Nazi. Which, I do agree that was a really dumb thing for Marvel to do. But, I can criticize Marvel all day. But, 2 good books. Okay, so that's it for this review, and that's definitely gonna be it for this video. It's not because I gotta work. I gotta work tomorrow. Yeah, in case of videos tomorrow, I expect to see at least one video coming tomorrow. For review a new episode of Attack on Titan. That's definitely coming tomorrow. Yep. Excuse me. See you next video. Bye.